Hey there, YouTube. We got a package in the mail today from Billy. I'm not going to show the address from where it came from due to the fact there's a lot of haters out there and I wouldn't want them to be jerks. But Billy sent me some stuff, some cabling and a couple hubs for the my wind turbine, because I've only got a 6-blade hub. He sent me, I think, a 9-blade and 11-blade. So I'm going to open this box up and see what all he sent in here. He also sent some welding cable. We'll see what he got in here. I've already cut it open and stuff like that, but I haven't really taken anything out. Alright. We got some peanuts in here. He's got a nicely little, at least it keeps it safe. Okay, here are, oh wow, those are heavy. Here's some cabling. My wife likes bubble wrap, so I'll save that for her. I know she want to play with those. I'll tell my wife Billy sent those to her so she can pop them. Alright, he's got me, here's some welding cable. Let's see if it says what size she is. 13mm. I think it's a 6. I think 6 gauge. It's got a 6 with the 13mm welding cable. So most likely 6 gauge. And some other odds and ends. I think it's probably either 8 or 10. A lot of it be marked on the cabling. Just usually got to decipher the brand or the company's branding on it. I believe this is 8 gauge, maybe 10. It's heavy duty wire and it's thick. I can't see it on there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 8 gauge. 8 gauge wire is what he sent there. This is probably 8 gauge as well. It's 10 gauge. And some more 8 gauge. Thank you, Billy. I definitely can use this. This would be great from the battery bank and stuff. And this would be great from the turbine. Okay, let's see. Some styrofoam. Alright, here's the hubs that he sent me. These are some spares Billy had laying around that he wasn't using. He got these from Missouri Wind and Solar. Look how thick those are. Now, the one that's up there that I have is when he used to work for Thermodyne. This hub compared to that one up there, this is like twice as thick as the one I've got up there now. So, I mean, I bought that hub from Jeff probably about 2 years ago. I just never did do anything with it. And I finally bought his dual core PMA, put 6 blades on it. It ran the dual core just fine. I mean, I hit about 25 amps at 26 volts and about 15-18 mile-an-hour winds. I don't have a wind gauge or anything like that, so I can't really say for sure what wind I had that day, but according to the weather station and weather bug, I was getting about anywhere between 15 and 18 mile-an-hour winds. So, can't really go off of that all the time due to the lag in response. You know, they can get 18 there and I might be getting 5 here. So by the time I get the news, my wind's different. Alright, here's one of another one of Jeff's hubs. I think this is the 9-blade. Yep, this is the 9-blade, and this is 11-blade hub. Those are nice and heavy. You know those ain't gonna bend in the wind. I'm pretty sure if that fell down from up there, nothing would happen. Let's see if he sent me anything else. I got some more bubbles for the wife to pop. She likes those. Alright, well, got that today in the mail from Billy. I know a lot of people are going to be thinking, oh, he's paying you to be, you know, against the hate crew and all that stuff. No, this is just another YouTuber, another fellow, you know, person that's in the wind and solar, as I'm I guess not really brand new. I know some of the facts and stuff behind it, but as getting started, yes, I'm brand new. Because this stuff is expensive. I mean, welding cable, I think he's probably got me at least 6 foot there. It's pretty expensive for 6 foot. I mean, this stuff here really ain't, is a little bit not as expensive. You can get that like at Lowe's, Home Depot, things like that. I went to Lowe's and stuff. You can't find welding cable there. You figure, you know, they sell welders and stuff, they'd find, you know, have welding cable there. They don't. So I have to look around here to find some more welding cable if I do need more, because I am gonna buy some solar panels and stuff. I just got 2 little ones up there. Some guy made a remark about it one time on a video, but yeah, that's all I got up there. But hey, Billy, thank you a lot for these, man. I mean, I really appreciate it. If there's anything you ever need from me, and if I've got it, I'll send it your way. I mean, you know, fellow Marine helping out another fellow Marine. That's basically what this is. We know all this. Simperfi, I do thank you. Let's see here. Okay, let's set that there for now. I did this all outside because it's nice and sunny outside, and it's like dark and dreary in the shed here. Got all my panels working. I've got a little switch here that does a couple things for me. So I mean, if I turn it off, if my wind turbine turns up, I got a little switch in here I can flip for current, because you know, all 4 of these are all 4 of them are the same meters. You know, each one, this one here can display voltage amp, voltage amp, voltage amp, and voltage amps. I had a previous video where I had this top one as my current and the bottom one as my volts. Well, I flipped these around. I got my voltage on top and my current on the bottom. This side here, I'm going to have it marked whenever I get time. I'm going to have this as my wind turbine. This would be my voltage coming out of the wind turbine. That'd be the current coming out of the wind turbine. These sets of meters, that's my battery bank voltage, and that'd be the current. Like if my dump load, let's say, kicks on. See if I can get it to kick on here. Alright. Once it starts putting power out, now that tells me the current going from my battery bank into whatever load or dump that I have. Right now I'm drawing 18.9. And if you multiply that number by that number, you should get roughly that wattage. You are going to have a loss, and there is going to be a difference between the current due to this ain't, you know, 100% efficient. You do lose efficiency with this. Alright, now we'll turn that off. And got that off. There. That way I can go ahead and trick that into turning off. Ain't no need for it to stay on and drain my battery all the way down. I mean, I was at 27 volts, so it don't take long to drain a small battery bank out. I worked some overtime last week and this weekend. Right now, these are, you know, these are deep cycle batteries. These are for, you know, little electric bikes and stuff like that. I've got an electric bicycle that those used to go in. These here, these are 12 amp hour a piece, both of those, but they're 6 volt cells. Alright, each one of these batteries are 12 amp hour, but they're all 12 volts. So I'm able to mix and match these, because you add this all up, 12 amp hour, 12 amp hour, 12 amp hour, 12 amp hour. That gives me a total of 48 amp hour right there, just for that part of the bank. And I got this wired in 24 volts, so it's, you know, series parallel. You don't really want to mix batteries, but, you know, I had a couple 7 amp hours there, and they're already 24 volts, so, you know, I'm going to head and wire them in. That gives me an extra 7 amp hour. I mean, it won't hurt too much. I mean, because, you know, this is just for shits and giggles, something to play with, something to get something going. Got a capacitor here. I mean, I don't know why I got it. It's just for basically shits and giggles. You know, I could do some things and charge these up and then run the grid tie off of and let the solar panel. Basically use this as a small, like a battery system, you know, like a regulator. But those go all the way up to 45 volts, so it's not recommended because I could blow those up. That'd be a big boom if those blow up. I did make some changes to it. I mean, one guy complained about my rat's nest, saying it is a rat's nest. Well, yeah, it is. That's why Billy sent me some cables so I can beautify this thing up, make it look a little nice, a little bit better than what it does now. My meters, like I said earlier, to measure current in different sections of your system, you do have to have blocking diodes. If I want to measure just the voltage on this system here, so I do have a blocking diode in here so I can measure the voltage coming off just the turbines. And then also got a diode in here on this system here for measuring the voltage from the batteries and the current going to this. And the grounds on these have to be isolated. You know, this ground cannot be touching that ground if you want to measure it. So, got a battery up here for 1 meter, got a battery up here for the other meter for the current, because the ground's got to be separated or isolated. And I got a power supply there that powers these 2 voltage meters. So, I mean, you know, hey, you got to do what you got to do. Alright, we'll open this up a little more. And yes, looks like a rat's nest in there. I know it. Probably get some haters commenting on it. But there's my shunt there. There's a shunt there. And there's an actual blocking diode on that heatsink. It's small, so that's why I got it on the heatsink. That little thing there I got out of an old, when I was in the Marine Corps, you know, we always dermoed stuff, threw stuff out, so I always stripped electronic parts out of it. So that's a little blocking diode in there that I've got hooked up to. I think that diode is a 10 amp diode, maybe more. I really don't know. I could look up the part number, but I didn't. And these are 200 amp shunts. Alright, that's 75 millivolt shunts. Alright, that way if somebody tries to say, oh no, that ain't it, yeah, that's what those are. And they do match the meters, because I've got 2 more of those around this mess here somewheres. I've got 2 more of them, because when I bought them, it came with 1 apiece. And when I get my solar panels hooked up, I'll be redesigning this whole faceplate here, and it'll probably go this way. It'll be like, you know, wind turbine, solar panels, and battery. You know, once I get my solar panels incorporated into it. And then of course I need a different power supply and stuff for those. Let's see, let's look in here again. I just got relays in here. I've got a small relay down there. This relay, that's the actual charge controller up here. Got the LEDs and the little test switch there. I got it set up for 15 minutes. That way it does a good discharge on the batteries. And so, done that. That's pretty much it in there. I got some bus bars here. I got at Lowe's that I got mounted in here. Got my positive rail, negative rail, and then that's my switched rail down there. So all my switching, you know, stuff like that goes to that rail there. Other than that, that's negative and positive there. Alright. That's pretty much all there is in there. I mean, I'm going to clean all that up too. There's a lot of work to go in there. Because right now I just got tired wire nuts on this stuff until I get a power supply built that's going to mount up here. And then all these here go to the power supply, and then I'm going to build circuit boards for these loads here, where I can have a wire that comes in, just plugs in instead of having to screw them on this terminal, and just plug them in and, you know, run the cabling nicely. Like these little wires here, they'll be all nicely done into one thick cable coming up to the meter in the front and connecting. So that's all going to be beautified. I'm building my own charge controller, and I'm going to have 2 charge controllers in here later on. I'm going to have a charge controller that I dump my loads down to my grid tie. And let's say my turbine's kicking out, my solar panels are kicking out, and this can't handle the load to keep that, you know, the batteries down low enough. I'll have another charge controller when the voltage reaches, say, 29 volts. You know, 28.8 be my, you know, dumping in my grid tie. Then maybe 29 volts would be dumping into a set of resistors. This is a 400 watt resistor bank that I made up here. Alright, they're all 6.19 ohm resistors. I've got 5 of them in series, 3 parallel lines. Got a nut on that end soldered on, nut on that end soldered on. I mean, yeah, it ain't big and fancy, and these are all 30 watt resistors, and they're aluminum resistors, so I can mount these on a big heat sink, and they can probably most likely handle more than 30 watts with a heat sink or a big piece of aluminum on it. So I'm gonna try to find a big old heat sink to mount these on. You know, something for now. You know, this, you know, ain't nothing big. Alright, that's pretty much it. That's my TV I repaired. I got it for free, found it on the side of the road. It was junk, took it home. I was just going to scrap it for copper. Well, usually I try fixing stuff before I throw it away. All I had to do is replace the main board on there, and it worked. This is my shed. I mean, it's a mess because I've been doing a lot of rearranging. Those are all my computers that I've got. AC units to keep my place cool. A bunch of ends and odds and ends. Monitor I found in the trash I'm going to scrap. I do scrapping too, getting copper out of stuff. And I was saying earlier, I do fix stuff, like messing with things, or I'll take parts out. So I mean, I've got loads and loads of resistors, everything, and most of them are marked so I know where to go to find them. Voltage regulators galore there. You know, different little potentiometers, LEDs, little connectors. I mean, I've got a little bit of everything. Billy would know what these are. Oh, what is that, Billy? Look at that. Never been caught metal. NBC metal right there. I got a couple of those actually. And these some other military coins that I've got while I was in there. Some when I was over at Oki, a couple when I was in Korea. Different places. Got some rounds. A couple bullets in there, some 5.56, 308, a little bit of everything. When I was over in Okinawa, you can go anywhere in Okinawa and you'll find rounds just everywhere from when, you know, during the war. I mean, these are heavy compared to regular rounds that you have nowadays. Plus shark teeth that I found while I was that's enough talking about all my stuff. I can go on all day. I've got tons of junk in here. At least that's what my wife says. It's just a shed full of junk. I don't think so. Some motherboard, helicopters. Little workbench that I built. Drill press. And another computer. Speakers, radio, big speakers back here. I mean, I got a little bit of everything here. This is my little man cave. My goal really is to take my shed off the grid. That'd be the best thing. Alright, well, that's enough rambling on. I'll talk to you guys later.